Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. It's raining outside, so if you hear the pitter patter on the old pickup, that's what it is. So what disaster, what next big whatever thing are you gearing up for? Are you ready for? Because man, there's just a lot of stuff going on. We got Trump being convicted of 34 felonies. People are saying that they're gearing up for civil war because of that. Biden is telling Ukraine, and so is Germany, that they can use all those missile systems we've been sending over there. They've said now you can use them offensively. You can use them to directly strike Russia inside Russia territory. And that's, of course, not sitting well with the Russians. And then, of course, there's this whole H5N1. I talked the other day a little bit about how it's one of the things that's being used to destroy our food system. They've already culled just last week or earlier this week almost 4.5 million. I think it was like 4.3 million exactly, or something like that. Chickens because of the bird flu. Well, I mean, it could just be a coincidence, and we know how all these coincidences are just coincidences. But a chicken farm with about 1.2 million chickens on it up in Illinois went up in smoke and killed them all. I mean, we've never seen that happen before, have we, folks? So I'm sure it's just a coincidence, right? It's just a coincidence. And there's been another human case of H5N1 up in Michigan. That makes 3 in the United States. And the government announced that they are preparing 4.8 million vaccines for H5N1. 4.8 million. But it's nothing. Don't worry about it. It's not going to affect us. It's nothing to worry about. Just go about your lives. It's not going to be a civil war. There's not going to be an economic collapse. You know, there's not going to be an even greater invasion at our borders that we're already dealing with. There's not going to be any kind of potential terrorist attack or increase in violence because they just come here to help the economy. You know, they don't commit crimes. They don't lower property values or anything. They just come here and they work really hard and they make the country lots of money. It's prosperous, right? I don't know how many of you just watch my channel and others just because. I know there's some because I hear about it. I hear that there's people that watch this kind of content on a fairly regular basis, almost like they're watching a reality show or some TV show or some sitcom or something like that, just for the entertainment of it, but yet aren't actually doing anything. And I'm telling you, folks, you need to be getting ready. I know I say that all the time. I've been told more times than I can think of. Oh, you're a broken record. You just keep saying the same thing. I keep saying the same thing all the time because I'm trying to push people to get ready. And even for those of you that's going to sit there and say, oh, I'm ready. We've been ready for years. We've got all the stuff that we need. We've stocked up. We've prepped up. We're ready. Are you really? Have you thought real through and clear and about that? Because I would argue that pretty much all of you aren't really ready. I mean, you're ready. You're more ready than anyone else, and some of you are very ready. Some of you have been doing this a long time. But my point is I think, I would guess, that pretty much everyone here could do a little bit more. And that's why I keep saying it all the time, because I'm telling you, folks, you can sit there and dream up and think up any kind of hypothetical scenario that we might go through. And whatever that is and however bad it is, you should probably multiply that by at least 10 times. And that might, maybe give you an idea of what we've got to deal with. And so for those of you that are just watching this kind of stuff just because it's interesting and fun, and you keep telling yourself, yeah, I need to get more self-sufficient. I need to buy some ammunition. I need to buy some food. Well, you're starting to run out of time. You better do it. And for the rest of you that have been doing those things, I want to push you very strongly so to do more. Maybe you're broke. A lot of us are right now. So you're saying, well, I can't really afford to buy a lot of stuff. It's not all about buying things, folks. A lot of it's just about getting it up here ready for it, and physically getting out there, doing things, getting yourselves more physically adapted to the life that you're probably going to be facing, which is going to be hard. It's going to be hard. Look throughout history when societies collapse. It's never easy. And this collapse, I think, is probably going to be a lot worse than history's ever seen, because it could be mixed in with Civil War and World War III and a pandemic and an invasion at the border with millions and millions of illegals and attacks on our infrastructure, terrorist attacks, increased crime, and then just a complete breakdown of the moral fabric of this nation. I mean, what is it? Tomorrow or the next day starts the, Pride Month. We'll get to see again, disgustingly, how this nation has just lost every bit of morality. So I'm telling you, this isn't doom and gloom. It's not to scare anyone. I mean, if you're scared, turn that fear into some kind of motivation, a fuel to push you along. There's going to be a lot of people that's not going to make it. Yeah, I get that. I hear it all the time. But you can make it if you really try hard, and if you push yourself, and if you get yourself ready. And you've got to, because if you just sit back and look at the landscape of everything that's happening, and I don't know how anyone in their right mind can see it and say, oh, it's okay. It's not going to be that bad. And it may not be for a few months. It may not be really terrible for a couple of years, maybe. But it's coming, folks. It's getting worse already. It has been for a while. Look at where we've come in the last 4 years. A lot worse off than where we started. And it's just going to keep happening. So, yeah, we've got to be getting ready, folks. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. I don't know how else to put it. I mean, how many times do I have to tell people? How many times do I have to say it? Yes, you need to learn how to garden. Yes, you need to learn how to grow tomatoes and take care of goats and raise chickens and milk cows. You need to know how to fix things. You need to know how to do medical and emergency medical and just treating illnesses. You need to know how to defend yourself. You need to know how to use a firearm effectively. You need to know how to do all this kind of stuff and more. You got to learn how to get along, how to communicate with others, how to build a community, how to work together, which is something that so many Americans now have no clue how to do. You need to be self-sufficient, and you need to be battle ready, mentally battle ready, so that we can get through all this. Because it's going to get rough, folks. I don't know when. Don't ask, because I don't know. Maybe tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. I don't know. But it's coming, because there cannot be. It's almost to the point that it's just a mathematical odds. There's no way there could be this many things happening, this crazy, and nothing happened. We've been through a lot of stuff over the last few years, so we kind of already know. And looking at all the stuff that's happening and what's most likely coming at us, not good. You're going to see the nation that you grew up in, that you grew up loving and proud of. You're going to watch it fall apart. You're going to watch humanity, people, Americans, do things and experience things that you never thought were possible. America's already starting to look like a third world country in some places. It's going to start behaving like it in a lot of places too. And that's something that most people aren't prepared for. I mean, you can stock up on stuff, but just being prepared for that visual of what you're gonna see, that psychological trauma of watching things fall apart, people fall apart, communities fall apart, and what they will do when they do fall apart. It's gonna be tough. You can make it through it, but you got to have some grit. You You got to be planning ahead. And you need to be working with people. And that's what you got to be doing, because my goodness, I just, you know, I'm at a point that I don't even know. Sure, I can just continually tell you stuff in the news, and I can tell you once again, you know, how to grow a potato or a tomato or how to load a firearm. I mean, you can watch 10 million videos on YouTube for all that kind of stuff. But if you're not doing things, if you're not really preparing, if you're not getting yourself in that headspace of what is actually going on and how bad it is, and how, I mean, regardless of where you stand on the whole Trump thing or Donald Trump himself, do you realize what the rest of the world is looking at us like? I mean, America's always been viewed as that beacon of hope, that city on a hillside, right? Of freedom. Really? Anymore? Of justice, liberty, and justice for all. It's what America's always been about, at least on the surface. Now, those dark areas of America, they've come to the surface, and the rest of the world's seeing it. Do you think our dollar's going to be strong? Do you think people are going to respect us? No, they're going to see us more and more as a tyrannical government. Wake up, folks. Wake up and get ready. Because it's coming at us whether you like it or not. You need to be preparing yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.